Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another random review. Yes, it's another Korean plain archive. It's The Beauty Inside from 2015, and it's time for more Korean name butchery. So it's the only film directed by Jong Yul Baek, as far as I know, and it stars Hiju Han as Lee-soo, a woman who is the love interest of the supposedly main character, Woo Jin. Woo Jin is a carpenter who makes specialised furniture. You can tell this sounds like a riveting synopsis already. He makes specialised, customised furniture. Lee-soo works for a company that sells furniture. You can see where this is going. But Woo Jin has a problem, because when he goes to sleep, he wakes up the following morning and he's a completely different person. Not internally, but externally. So he can wake up as a woman, or in one hilarious case, a child, or an old woman, or an old man. So he lives a solitary existence, strangely enough, due to this problem. So he just quietly makes these tables and chairs in secrecy. He only has one confidant, his school friend, who's essentially there for the comic relief. But then he sees Lee-soo in her shop, and then starts a relationship, a romance, wanting to fall in love with her. But obviously there's certain obstacles he has to get over, namely he's a different person every day. I'm surprised this hasn't actually been remade. Hopefully it won't be. It's the kind of film that I should actually hate. But perhaps because of the lead actress, who's just wonderful. I actually enjoyed it a lot. It's 2 hours and 7 minutes, so it's a bit long. But this is the plain archive edition. This is one of the new range, so it's not actually numbered like the other plain archive. I'll just show you the inside. Again, it's actually like a paper fold-out book, and it has quite a lot of the Woo Jins. I should say there's about 24 actors and actresses that play Woo Jin. And you'll constantly say, oh, I recognise that face from that other Korean film that I've just watched recently. So you get a huge big poster with a selection of the Woo Jins. And there's poor Lee-soo in the other corner, who, needless to say, when she finds out what's going on, she's a little bit surprised, because she's told about Woo Jin by one of his female Woo Jins, and obviously she thinks she's going a little bit mad. As usual with plain archive, you get a lovely little envelope, but you also get a little business card of Lee-soo's furniture shop, which is a lovely little touch. And you actually get Polaroid copies of the Polaroids that Lee-soo takes with all the different Woo Jins, which is really a nice touch. So on the surface, this is kind of a light and fluffy romantic comedy, but there is actually some dark undertones that perhaps they should have spent more time on, and it would make it an even better film. Because my cynical side, obviously it's called the beauty inside. It's the message is it's not really what you look like that counts, it's what's inside. Even although he first meets her when he's handsome, when he goes to her work's party, it's obvious that he's handsome too, but the end message is it's not the outside that counts, it's the inside. But there's a couple of, because at one point she struggles with it, obviously there's rumours at her work that she seems to be going out with multiple guys. She starts taking drugs to help her sleep, and obviously that goes badly. But she goes to see a psychiatrist, and of course she's talking about how she's in love with a man who, when he wakes up, he's a completely different person. When she holds his hand, she looks at him and it's like looking into the face of a stranger. So there's obvious comparisons with mental illness, dealing with people with Alzheimer's, for example, or dealing with an abusive partner, domestic abuse, the fact that you don't know who they'll be in the morning. But that kind of underlying thing isn't really talked about that much. It's just kind of brought up, which again leads you to the questions of, we are different people every time we wake up, just obviously not as we wake up as a man, woman or child on different days. But that's kind of the subtext that's going on that perhaps would make the film even more interesting if that was explored. But this is more kind of Groundhog Day, but with different people rather than the same day each day. It actually spawned a 2018 Korean TV show where the lead character, who's a woman this time, spends a week in a different body, a bit like Quantum Leap, but perhaps without the righting wrongs. I don't know, I haven't seen the TV show. I mean, it's interesting that obviously it's about a man with the problem, but it's really the lead actress's film, because she's the one that has to make us believe that all these 24 characters are the same character, regardless of whether of their age or whether they're a man or a woman or whether they're even a kid, which, like I say, is one of the funniest episodes in it, because she accidentally gets him drunk and then the kid tries to pay for the meal with his credit card. But she's really the main drive of the film. It's how she reacts, because Woo Jin's fairly selfish. He only really thinks of himself, whereas she's the one that has to deal with the gossip. She's the one that has to deal with every day she's meeting a stranger, essentially, even although it's the same person inside. But you can see why that might affect her mentally a little bit. Yes, you could argue in the end it's predictable, and again, depending how cynical you feel. Again, like I said before, this is probably a film that I should hate, but I actually liked it a lot. But again, it's perhaps I'm a little bit biased towards Korean cinema, and I find it a little bit hard to be objective sometimes. Even though I did watch a Korean film that I only gave 3 stars to, which I didn't absolutely love. That's just because the protagonist was a bit of a pain. But again, because Korean films look so good, it's beautifully acted, especially by the lead actress, who I'm not going to butcher her name again. She's absolutely adorable in it, and really does a good job, like I say, of conveying the fact that these 24 or however many Woo-jins there are, she can recognise it's the same person inside. There's twists and turns, which I won't go into for spoilers. You can watch the film yourself. Again, 2 hours 7 minutes, it's a bit too long. I do find that with quite a few of the Korean films that I've watched. They're a little bit too long. But if you're in the right mood and you just go with it, it's just a wonderful little film. Again, because it's playing archive, I perhaps would have never seen it otherwise. Again, it's a beautiful addition. Obviously, again, the extras don't have English subtitles, unfortunately, but you kind of understand what's going on anyway. So that's the beauty inside. Just happens to be another Korean random review. It's just coincidence, honest. So thanks very much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below if you've seen Beauty Inside and what you thought of it. And hopefully you'll join me again for more random reviews. Only some of them might be Korean. So thanks so much for watching. This is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films saying farewell.